Hi, today I'd like to talk about these memorial plaques that were issued after the First World War to the next of kin of all British service personnel who were killed as a result of the war. The plaques were 4.72 inches or 120 millimetres in diameter and were cast in bronze and became known as Dead Men's Pennies because of the similarity in appearance to the much smaller penny. Now, 150 tonnes of bronze were used, and these were continued to be issued into the 1930s to commemorate people who died as a consequence of the war. So, there is the original envelope to Mrs. K. Mead in Chiswick. And then inside of that, there was this little wrapper which enclosed the actual plaque. And this is the actual plaque itself. Now, this was the image here was a result of a competition. Now, the submissions made in the public competition, over 800 designs were submitted, and it was won by sculptor and medalist Edward Carter Preston. Now, just in front of the paws, let's have a look if I can focus it. You can see there is that bit. Initials ECP. There it goes. Just in front of that front paw, ECP. So that's the designer. And so the design included a picture of Britannia, there she is, with a trident and standing with a lion. In her outstretched left hand, there is an olive wreath, and then above, the actual name of the person who died, Francis Philip Jessup in this case. And then we've got a spray of acorns on the side there, and acorn leaves. The name doesn't include a rank, as it was said that all people should be. There's no distinction between sacrifices made by individuals. And then there is some dolphins around it, showing British dominance of the sea. And in the bottom there is another lion attacking a German eagle. And it says, he died for freedom and honour. Francis Philip Jessup. They were initially made by the Memorial Plaque Factory at 5456 Church Road, which is, as you can see, that's the return address on this package. From 1919, early Acton date made plaques did not have a number stamped on them, but later ones have a number stamped behind the lion's leg. Now, I can't find any numbers behind this, so I'd say this must be an early one. In December 1920, manufacturers shifted to the Royal Arsenal, Woolwich. Plaques manufactured there can be identified by a circle containing the initials WA on the back, and by a number stamped between the tail and leg in place of the number stamped between the lion's back leg. The design was altered slightly during the manufacture at Woolwich by Carter Preston, since there was insufficient space in the original design between the lion's back paw and the H in he to allow an S to be inserted to read she. So this one is a he there, but there wasn't enough room for put an S, because also there's some women who died during the war, and so they needed to alter it to put she died. The modification was to make the H slightly narrower to allow the S to be inserted. After around 1,500 female plaques have been manufactured, the moulds were modified to produce the male version by removing the S. So there you have it. Now, I found a bit more about Francis Philip Jessup. He was born in 1893 in Bahia Blanca, Argentina. That's Bahia, Blanca, Argentina. And he died on the 9th of the 4th, 1918. He enlisted in London as the rank of corporal. He was registered in the Household Cavalry and Cavalry of the Line, Battalion Special Cavalry Reserve, 1st King Edward Horse, killed in action number 1449. The census of 1911, which was carried out on the 2nd of the 4th, 1911, he was at 21 Shirley Road, Acton, Middlesex. Now, his mother was Catherine Mead, 47, born in Ireland, Dublin. At that time, he had some other brothers and sisters. He had Patrick Jessup, 14. He was born in Argentina and was at school. Ellen Jessup, and she was 9, and she was at school and born in Argentina. There was John Jessup, 17, in the motor trade. William Jessup, 19, a university student. And Francis Jessup, this is the Francis here, auctioneer's clerk, and he was 18. Burial at Cabaret Rouge, or Cabaret, Rouge, British Cemetery, I can never say that, Souge, France, or Souchez. So there you have the plaque. And then it says Catherine Mead because she was formerly Jessup. She'd married a David Alexander Mead in July to September 1907 in Brentford, Middlesex, and that's why she was called Mead. David Mead was born in 1867 and died in 1915 in Brentford Union Infirmary, Isledon. Her first husband, William Raymond Jessup, he was born in the 3rd of the 7th, 1861 in Dublin. So they're both Irish. And he married Catherine Violet Kelly, so that's her maiden name, in 1886 in Buenos Aires. So they both were actually living in Argentina at the time. And he died in March 1903 in Mendoza, Argentina. Now, John Jessup, his brother, who was born on the 9th of the 2nd, 1894 in Buenos Aires, he was resident in Edmonton, Queensland, Australia, later in his life, and he enlisted on the 10th of the 2nd, 1942. So his brother joined in the Second World War. And he was discharged in Cairns, Queensland, on the 12th of the 12th, 1944. So that's a bit more of the history of this person, because often we see these plaques and we don't really put the detail of their lives behind them, because each individual person who dies, they had a life. They had mother, a father, they usually had siblings, they might have had a wife, they might have had children. So it puts it into context that this is not just a plaque with a name on it. It represents somebody's life who died in the First World War. Now, whether you believe the First World War was an honourable war or not, this person did sacrifice his own life for it. There he is, Francis Philip Jessup. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe. I've only got about 990 odd subscribers left until I get my 1,000, so, you know, little way to go yet. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll come back with some more facts and figures about different aspects and different topics. See you soon. Thanks. Bye.